What is your interpretation of the Tree Life Project?
Okay, so it's evolving as we speak, and it's going to take shape as I work with the other participants, and then also find in some ways my own individual tree. And I think that's partly what I'm looking for. It's a way to start. And so for me, what it's coming down to is, once again, see, music is so metaphorical. Is that a word, metaphorical? Mm-hmm. Metaphor-like. It's very much a kind of medium in which there's no words. And so whatever meaning you have, you put on it. You know, like if I sing you a melody, you know, you'll feel the way you feel because of who you are, the culture you grew up in, and the fact that you might have heard that piece. If you were born in South India, like my father was born, he was not going to hear the same meanings and words. He might hear something completely different. So because of that, when you're trying to work with concepts, and yet you're working in a medium that doesn't really have that in its root, you have to find a way to search inside yourself and mirror those feelings and thoughts and ideas. And I try to avoid being too programmatic. So partly for me that is knowing who I'm working with. So for instance, right at the stage I'm at right now, I've put together a segment of about 15 minutes for the dancers to work off of to begin evolving their side of things. And it's very much the primal Dave style. It's got more of my fiddle style approach, Indian music approach, maybe a certain amount of African rhythm and Latin American, and there's more room for long kind of flowing grooves and more moody and more movement oriented. And also complete in itself. It starts from point A to point Z without stopping. And so for the second part, which is going to be more, and also that's because of the fact that that's representing the cultural tree. We have this kind of in 3 segments, although that's going to change obviously as you work together. So the cultural tree, so I felt more like going for this more, what is like these different world cultures and how that filters through my musical voice. The second part I'm working on is, I just played for John Thenunis, and he likes it, so I passed muster, is a more intense, more pure style, more Western style, but a little bit more angular and more broken up into smaller pieces. That's going to be for the second tree, which is the scientific tree, which John is going to be working on setting more on his part, using mask and acting and very cool stuff. He showed me some of the stuff today, and I was going, yeah, that's cool. We were both high-fiving each other because we finally felt like we were on the same page. Just trying to find a way to combine our crafts. I mean, that is not an easy thing to do. And so now the next stage is going to be the third tree, which is the intertwining of the 2 trees. Is not really a separate tree. And then that stage is about weaving everything, those parts together. Also, Matt Jacobson's going to be doing a fair amount of work in his craft, which is working with video and that technology side of things. And in the end, I hope that it has something I've never done before, which is to write as part of a project in which I'm writing from the beginning to the end. That's something any composer really yearns to do, and I'm really scared and I'm really excited. So
definitely.